Welcome, I'm Salika with another episode of Scope. A week-long conference hosted by the Commonwealth Secretariat from February 7 to 9 in Port Moresby for judges and senior magistrates from all over the Pacific region was aimed at addressing cybercrime in the Pacific region. Chief Justice of PNG, Sir Gibbs Salika, addressed the participants at the opening ceremony, echoed that cybercrime affects all sectors in society. The conference also heard that cybercrime is the second biggest threat for Pacific Islanders after climate change.
The Commonwealth Conference addressing cybercrime in the Pacific was aimed at improving the competency of judges and magistrates on matters of cybercrime. Professor John Kerry, Executive Director of the PNG Centre for Judicial Excellence, said cybercrime is the second biggest threat for Pacific Islanders after climate change. Chief Justice of Papua New Guinea, Sir Gibbs Salika, said cybercrime affects all sectors of the society. He was speaking during the opening ceremony of the week-long conference hosted by the Commonwealth Secretariat from February 7th to the 9th in Port Moresby for judges and senior magistrates from all over the Pacific region. Sir Gibbs said we are living in a digitalized era and judges and magistrates must be prepared to deal with such cases as well as meeting the challenges.
Cybercrime concerns and issues affect every sector of our society. Whether you're a first world country representative or third world country representative, developing country representative, we are all, every sector of our society is affected by these cybercrime concerns. Cybersecurity and cybercrime concerns. We are living in a digital age where the threat of cybercrime is always present. Judiciaries around the world are challenged with addressing these matters, whether it is a potential target by criminals or in their role adjudicating fairly complex cases that entails cybercrimes and electronic evidence.
In cases where cybercrime is committed outside the jurisdiction but executed in PNG, judges too must be able to handle such cases with the help of countries within the Commonwealth. The conference allowed the participants to share their experiences on the types of trends, scale and impact of cybercrime in the region and exchange views on cybersecurity governance frameworks that are required to mitigate cybersecurity threats faced by judiciaries in the region. British High Commissioner to Papua New Guinea Keith Scott said the Commonwealth and the UK government is proud to have funded this conference, adding that cybercrime is also a universal challenge that needs to be addressed collaboratively.
And in this region too, we've seen some crippling attacks on government networks. We've seen this in Vanuatu in November last year. We've seen this here in Papua New Guinea, the attack on the financial management system in 2021. So the point I really want to make is that no one is immune, big or small. The second point I want to stress is just that being a global threat, it needs a global solution. And that's not just in geographical terms. That's also within countries and within societies. It's fantastic to have so many cyber and legal experts in this room today.
The conference is a first of its kind, and the Commonwealth has indicated the event to be hosted biannually.
When we come back, health professionals identify a drastic need in infrastructure for state-run hospitals. Poor infrastructure and facilities are common at two of the biggest state-run hospitals in the nation's capital. As a result, overcrowding at the Port Moresby General Hospital and the Gerehu Provincial Hospital has become a norm. The state-run health facilities run the risk of causing further severe consequences to patient outcomes, overwhelming staff work and already failing systems, overall increasing operational costs to keep the health facilities running, operational, and most importantly, saving lives. On the 2nd of February, the recently established Special Parliamentary Committee on Health Matters visited two of the biggest state-run hospitals in the nation's capital, witnessing firsthand the challenges faced by healthcare workers in the country and those of the sick, injured, handicapped, and the ones who love and care for them. The recently established Special Parliamentary Committee on Health Matters witnessed firsthand the poor infrastructure and facilities at two of the biggest state-run hospitals in the nation's capital. On Thursday, February 2nd, the SPC on Health Matters visited the Gerehu Provincial Hospital and the Port Moresby General Hospital. They conducted a general inspection, walking through the wards, speaking to hospital workers and patients, and noting the challenges faced by overwhelmed healthcare workers and the support they currently lack in terms of funding and infrastructure that is needed to do their jobs. The SPC's first visit, led by Chairman, Member for Pomio Open Elias Kapavore, was to the Gerehu Provincial Hospital. He was accompanied by MPs Lohia Boy Samuel, Ricky Morris, and Simon Dumarinu.
Last parliament session, it's like company established a committee, special parliamentary committee. Lo parliament all call him special parliamentary committee where work and look lo health aso. It's like a committee and first time no country lo yimi lo parliament all established. But this la lo look lo sad lo health aso.
The SPC noted the lack of proper infrastructure needed to operate at the level that is required from the Level 5 Provincial Hospital. The hospital has a manpower of 300 medical professionals, including specialists. Sadly, these workers are not fully utilized due to the lack of proper facilities.
Very, very hardworking team, despite a lot of challenges in terms of infrastructure. So what we look at today from the report that we're hearing, they got all the specialist doctors for here. All of the local staff, more than 300 something. 300, I mean, I'm running on level 4, level 5 hospital. 300 staff can run around, that's enough. With all the specialist doctors, we can run on sustaining operation on level 5 of provincial hospital. So, problem. Infrastructure problem. There's a report given to us by them. This hospital was built some years ago, located in a population of 200,000 So 200,000 population. Today, population I'm approaching close to a million.
Gerehu Provincial Hospital, qualified as a Level 5 provincial hospital, a few years ago has a list of key clinical services not available at the facility. The hospital was meant for urban clinic and only received the Level 5 status for purposes of establishing the new NCD-PHA. NCD-PHA Chief Executive Officer Dr. Stephen Yenny thanked the committee for their visit, stating the importance of the cooperation that is needed to take place between all relevant entities to ensure the hospital is operating at the level that it needs to.
We have adequate workforce, minimum to maintain a service. But for a provincial hospital like Gerehu, we like operating theatre, delivery wards, basic nursery, ICU. And if you employ a surgeons to work here, surgeon will be useless. We're trying to do minor procedures like incision and all that, and they'll become bored. So having this kind of facility which is established in a provincial hospital can also help in the provision of care what a provincial hospital should be able to provide.
Meanwhile, the lack of clinical services which are not available at the Gerehu Provincial Hospital include a functioning labour ward. Midwife Clancy Yawakian appealed to the Health Committee during their visit to build a labour ward for the Gerehu Hospital.
I'm a midwife, I'm useless here. My words to you is please, build me a labour ward. I need a labour ward. Build me a labour ward. I want to do my work as a midwife, deliver at least one baby before I clock out of the public service. Thank you.
Chairman Kapavore said it was time the NCD Health Authority and the Health Department improved health facilities and services. He said the health system in Port Moresby should be fixed, as it is the country's capital with a population expanding at a fast rate. After inspecting the facilities at the Gerehu Provincial Hospital, the SPC then moved on to inspect the Port Moresby General Hospital. Port Moresby General Hospital's Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Paki Molumi, and the management and staff of the hospital welcomed them. Dr. Paki Molumi and his team took the SPC on a walkthrough, including the new facilities of the hospital, highlighting the range of brand new equipment that are now in the capable hands of the hospital.
This facility that you saw from there, it cost us 17.6 million. Now, see the return on investment. Small investment, big impact. So we should not see investment into health as money thrown into a social sector. It should be seen as it's got a big return on investment for this country to grow our economy. Human resource. Currently, Port Moresby General Hospital is operating on the 1994 Public Hospital Act. With this act, it's like you are trying to fly a jet with a twin-otter engine. Yes, it doesn't empower you to do anything. So, getting the human resource structure in place to suit this function, and then of course remunerating them with the right remunerations for that service. That needs to be done. And we are doing some things here on head of trying to get support. But once we get this enabling legislation in place, it will empower us to other people, hospitals and others have gone on the PHA, Public Hospital Provincial Health Authority Act, but PMG is still on the 1994 Public Hospital Act. So we need to get this new legislation in place so that will empower us to get the right human resource in place with the right remuneration, and then we can train people, or if it means recruiting, we need to recruit people for the
On the visit to Port Moresby General Hospital, Chairman Kapavore emphasized that provincial health authorities are to have the health facilities surveyed immediately for accreditation. Kapavore says this is to ascertain their levels to service the people. The SPC expects the surveys to be done by June this year and a report presented to the committee by July.
Our Prime Minister keeps stressing we can provide an accessible, affordable, quality healthcare in our country. Accessible means hausik is tap close to lo. Time you sick, you go see Marsinaria. You not go pani hausik. Accessibility means you can access him anywhere. Affordable means availability is within the budget you got long in. Any ordinary citizen must also have that basic right to be served served with quality healthcare. It's not only for those people who have money going to PIH and Paradise Hospital and going overseas. And we have actually proven that. If you go to a PMTH today, you will see a well-established heart facility there. They're doing an angiogram over there. Previously, somebody has to raise up about more than 50,000, 100,000 to go to Australia and other overseas to get those done. Today, it's done at PMGH for less than, I think, 10,000 or 5,000. And we can continue to build on that and make more things happen in our country.
The Health Committee assured the management of the Gerehu Provincial Hospital and the Port Moresby General Hospital that their agenda is not to challenge the National Department of Health or scrutinize the authority of the Health Department, but rather to identify solutions in the healthcare system and be an additional voice for the cause on the floor of Parliament. After the break, EMK's Civic Pride anticipate an exciting season ahead after realizing a long-awaited dream. The East Civic franchise in waiting. EMK Civic Pride Rugby League Club was not just an overnight story. It was 2020 that the dream and vision was conceived and eventually born out of a simple touch game back at the Maprik Oval. To actually get to like-minded people together and reactivate the local league with all the economics surrounding securing sponsorships was a nightmare. But where there's a will, there's a way.
The Civic Pride initiative was the brainchild of former Egmont Couriers middle forward and Maprik's favorite son, Bradley Simon, who had a dream and a vision that one day East Civic will have a team in the country's premier national rugby league competition, the DDSL Cup. For Bradley and his team, it's been a long and winding road for the East Sepik franchise in waiting EMK Sepik Pride Rugby League Club. It all started way back in 2020 from a dream that was realized through a simple touch game back at the Maprik Oval. Bradley was part of the Gurias outfit that beat TNA Lions in the 2015 Digicel Cup Grand Final. In fact, after the Grand Final, the calling to persevere and spend more time on the Sepik Pride theory got stronger.
There was only islands people around playing. There was New Guinea Islands playing. And it was only me, Sepik, playing in the Egma Gurias. We had Rodney Pora there as well. And I said to myself, probably one day, when I go back home, I'll help my boys back at home to probably come up to that level that I am in now, playing for Digicel Cup, playing for a club, and have as much as Sepik boys playing in Digicel Cup. So when I went back home, I took a rugby ball and I went out to the Maprik Oval Sports Ground, and I started regrouping all the Highlands boys and said, let's play touch, see how we go. So it was just a touch game. And then the interest started growing. Governor came on, supported the boys from Maprik. He was our patron now he's the patron for Sepik Pride. That's not a mistake. He was there long before he became governor. So him sitting here, that's his rightful place. For me, credit goes back to him for believing in us. You know, you have a lot of Sepik there's a lot of Thomas, really. They don't believe in what you do. A lot of people say, own fame belong em yet. Them come lo make him lo name belong em yet. Like, seriously, rugby league has no money. There's no money in trying to volunteer to do something. But it was passion that drives a lot of us to continue to push on. And then it was support of governor, a lot of the family, the business houses that help us to come this far.
Bradley's journey took another big step forward with the creation of the AGMAC Sepik Pride Nines tournament, thanks to AGMAC Managing Director, the late Papa Guria, and former Gurias mentor, now Eastern Britain Governor, Michael Marum, who provided all the advice and assistance. The inaugural tournament was staged at the Pora Oval Wewak in 2020 and again in 2021. 2022, for the first time in its short history, Sepik Pride Nines hit the road to Maprik Town. For the first time also, it put Maprik on the map, hosting such a major sporting event that brought teams together from the entire country. The tournament was launched with a mini-cultural show that welcomed all visiting teams into Maprik Town. TVWAN Sports also made history, partnering with the Sepik Pride Organizing Committee to telecast all games, including the finals, to the rest of the country. For Bradley, having the TV1 coverage at the Maprik Nines would show to the PNG and RLC that they were ready.
You know, what more can I do? Unless the PNG and RL hasn't given me the right book. Because I believe I've ticked all the boxes. But if they're hiding another book that they haven't shown me, then it's not my problem, because they've given me the book that I've ticked all the boxes. So it's Digicel has come on board with us. So that means Digicel wants Sepik Pride in. It's now down to PNG and RL to give us the okay, because you know we can host events like this. I believe we can host Digicel Cup games here. Why not Sepik Pride 2023? Huh?
With ECP Governor Alan Bird on board as patron and Southern Highlander and EMK business owner Emmanuel Kange as the Sepik Pride bid team naming rights sponsor, work continued behind the scenes to get the initial bid going, only to be knocked back in 2021 for non-compliance. Again, the uncertainties brought about by the threat of COVID-19 Delta variant further delayed the process last year. Sepik Pride organized its first trial match against the AGMA Gurias pre-season early last year, 2022, in full anticipation for a possible inclusion into PNG's National Rugby League competition, the Digicel Cup, in 2023. The exclusion of Jiwaka franchise Wagi Tume from this year's Digicel Cup for breaching PNG NRLC participation agreement came as a blessing in disguise, with EMK Pride Rugby League Club getting a nod to join the country's top-tier domestic competition, the Digicel Cup. The big announcement took place on February 9, 2023.
And our new team, which I'm really proud to say is the Sepik Pride. So, the PNG NRLC, as you can see, are determined to see the game grow right across the country, and we are really truly delighted to welcome the Sepik Pride, who will participate in the competition for the first time this year. And with this inclusion of another team, for us to see a new brand of rugby league that's going to be played in and brought with this new Momasi franchise, it's really something that we're excited about, and I'm sure everybody in Sepik are excited about. And I also want to congratulate the team and the franchise for actually the work that they put in. To get into the Digicel Cup, it is not an easy task, and it's something that they've worked extremely hard to do. So congratulations to all the boys and also their chairman.
Though it's been a far cry for the new Sepik franchise since 2020, when their first bid was initially knocked back for non-compliance, the big announcement is perceived as historical and a victory for the people of the Greater Sepik. At the media conference after the PNG NRLC's announcement, EMK Managing Director Emmanuel Kange expressed his excitement and extended gratitude to the ECPIC MPs, especially ECPIC Governor, for making commitment to support and back the EMK Sepik Pride bid for the 2023 season. Kange said the selection process started a year ago, while the latest signings of Warto Puara Jr. and Watson Boas was important to set a strong foundation for the team, with only 2 months to prepare for their debut season opener.
It's a great honor for all of us, and so I want to thank our Honourable Governor. We align ourselves with your vision in the Greater Sepik. So in whatever way, in terms of rugby league development, we bring back to the Greater Sepik community. We wanted to align ourselves with your vision there, and then see what we can do with rugby league to assist you to change the mindset of our people in the Greater Sepik. So we are stand united to support you.
Franchise patron Alan Bird spoke passionately about using sport as a tool to change the attitude and mindset of youths today, not only in rugby league but other sports as well.
Without EMK, we really wouldn't have made it this far. So I want to acknowledge Emmanuel and his organization for the support. Thank you very much. Our other partners, 2nd Pacific Islands Regiment at Moim, we've got an agreement with them. We'll be upgrading the gymnasium, both for the soldiers and for the team. And we'll be looking at other partnerships going forward, and a lot of the support will be coming from the PNGDF, and I want to acknowledge that publicly. We're not just pushing rugby league, but as a result of this, we'll be able to get a soccer franchise in hopefully next year, both a men's and a women's team. Young people can see that there's hope, that there's a direction, that someone is interested in where we're going to go. Then I think they can change their mind and become a more positive contributor. And this is where I want to acknowledge the work by Bradley and some of his team, who've been doing this work actually for almost 10 years now. So, you know, the announcement is a result of over 10 years of work. It didn't just start yesterday.
EMK Sepik Pride Board Chairman Bradley Simon said the composition of the team will be a mixture of young talents and seasoned players, including veteran PNG Hunters Rake Warto Puara Jr., Watson Boa, Francis Kembis Tumbe, Joe Frank Gurias, Terry Wapi Gurias, Muka Kalu Peter Kimbekatas, and former Gurias Samuel Hamari, and young Pagapentras half Peter Pakali and Dixon Mayer of the Debaris.
And that ends Scope this evening. A kind reminder to apply simple measures to prevent the transmission of the coronavirus. Regularly wash your hands with soap and water. Cough or sneeze into your elbow. And exercise social distancing. If you are feeling sick, please stay at home. You can also call the COVID-19 hotline number for more information or assistance. Thank you for your company. Bye for now.